First, a disclaimer. Views expressed tonight are not necessarily the same as my employer, employees, colleague, friends, family, or anyone who knows me. They are mine and mine alone, and I expect you to adopt them immediately. Also, dramatic pauses brought to you by Brian LePan and Matthew Fox. Okay, as Bob said, I have been here for now 8.5 years. I came to Arizona not because I knew anything about it or because I really wanted to be here or because it was better than where I was. I came to Arizona 8.5 years ago to go to grad school. I got a graduate assistantship from ASU, and they offered me a little bit of money and a little bit of tuition waiver and a couple other things and a kind of a job working for the SRC to come down and enroll in grad school and finish up. And my plan was to come down, spend my 2 years, and then take off. And the reason I came to grad school, I didn't know what to do with my life. I got a Bachelor of Arts from Washington State University, and I had no idea what I was supposed to do next. So as someone who was smart enough, and by smart enough, that's a 275 GPA and a 1,000 GRE score, smart enough to qualify for grad school and had the means to find the money to attend it, I felt that it was my duty to keep going to school because I didn't want to end up as a barista or as some screw-up who everyone hates. And so when I first enrolled in grad school down to public programs, recreation, tourism management at ASU, I expected most of the grad students to be just like me. I expected them to be, or maybe better than me, maybe smart, really smart people who wanted to have PhDs or whatnot. What I realized was they were mostly like me. They had no idea what they wanted to do, or they were middle-aged, mostly women, coming back to school after raising the kids, which was great for them, but not so much for me. As I went through school, I found myself kind of testing some things. So one of my first papers I turned in was supposed to be a 10-page paper. As a journalist, a trained journalist in community college, I can't write 10 pages of fluff. I have to write, I'm pretty much to the point. So I wrote about 8 pages and then wrote a 9th page of nothing. And then on the 10th page, I wrote, I'm only writing this to fill my page requirement, and copied and pasted that for an entire page, about 250 words of I'm only writing this to fill my page requirement on the last page. I turned it in, expecting, I don't know, to fail it, maybe get a C, maybe get something. I got an A. A in the paper. So apparently the professor didn't really read it at all. Not even a little bit. So grad school went on, and I continually didn't like it. I got involved in a couple other jobs. I got a job at Apple, which was my dream job, working in retail for Apple, as I was going to school. And then the next year, while I was working for a magazine called Contact, I had the opportunity to work with a City of Phoenix employee who was also a professor at ASU. And he said that we have these assignments where you work with the local municipality or local city to throw an event or help them do something, like a food drive or a party or something like that. So I said, awesome. I work with this local magazine. We're locally owned, locally invested, locally sourced, everything. We live here, we work here, we love it here. How about I use the event that I'm helping out with the magazine, which we had in conjunction with the city, for my academic study, because that way I can do the real work and then we can look at it later and we can use it as a class and we can use it as a real example, because how cool is it to use real life examples in class? I couldn't. They said no, because I was being paid for it, and that meant that it could not be used for academic credit. So I kind of sat there and was a little curious. I never went back to class again. And I became, at the age of 25, a grad school dropout. I hopped back to my desk at Contact Magazine, that's Contact with a K in there, and for the grand sum of $2,000 a month, I was paid $2,000 a month. We produced magazines, we produced shows, we produced events that helped the arts community, we wrote about tons of stuff that we could think about. It was a fantastic time. During that time, I had a couple failures of my own. I did talk to a potential intern from ASU and told them that one of the benefits of working for a magazine is you often get free food and drink. Right? Great. Which turned into Contact gives minors as much alcohol as they want. ASU blacklisted us, and we never got an intern from there again. It probably didn't help that I ridiculed the guy on the phone later when he called to ask me to explain myself. So I killed those chances. And then about a year later, we had another event that was designed to raise money for the First Friday people down in Phoenix. I'm assuming everyone knows what First Friday is. If you don't know, please go look it up online. It's a monthly event where all the artists from all over the valley come in and they sell their stuff and they show off their art. It's a fantastic time. So we decided that we needed to find these people and we needed to help them out. So we went to the Paper Heart, the now defunct Paper Heart. We went to a huge parking lot, huge building. We got a ton of beer. We set up, we got recycling, a big recycling bin. We were ready to go, ready to help the community, ready to do some cool stuff. 30 people showed up. 6 of those were artists and 24 of those were patrons. We had 4 times as many people there just to watch as actually were to sell stuff. I was livid. I remember I spent most of the day reposting my links on MySpace trying to get them to come down to the event. I was pissed. I'm not gonna lie, I was mad at the city of Phoenix. I was mad at everybody in the city of Phoenix. I was mad at everybody in the Tempe and Scottsdale and whatever else. These artists who claim they want all this help and they want all these things, they want to be better and they want to be the best and they want to do all this stuff, could not find time out of their day to come down and support each other to help sell things, to make them money. I was furious. Contact went on. Ended up folding because a lot of our developers, or a lot of our advertisers were developers. I ended up getting a corporate job. And in late 2008, this new invention came along called Twitter. I am very good at Twitter. That means I can talk a lot. And what Twitter allowed me to do is it allowed me to share my opinions and how frustrated I was with everyone to anyone that would listen to me. As of right now, there are 4,600 people that listen to me on a daily basis. I still don't know why. But I spent about 1.5 years ridiculing and tearing apart anything anyone would ever do. And it wasn't like I called them names. It was more, if you've seen Major League, it's more how Roger Dorn punches Rick Vaughn at the end and then picks him back up. I generally wanted them to succeed, but I also wanted them to toughen up a little bit too. So I kept on talking to them and yelling at people and just basically being an agitator, an asshole is what people are going to call me. And then I was invited to speak at Local Breeze, which is also now defunct. We had a community meeting, and I was Katrina Kaler now. At the time, I don't remember her maiden name, but it's Kaler now. Noble. Invited me to speak to a group of citizens who were business owners, serious people who wanted serious things for downtown. So I figured, well, I'm a little nervous, so I'm going to have a glass of wine to calm myself down. I was waiting for my girlfriend at the time, Katie, to come back so we could go. So I had a couple glasses of wine, was turned into a bottle, and then I decided to make some margaritas for the both of us so we could have them before we walked over to Local Breeze. I had all those too. So then we showed up at the event, and I was interviewed by the ASU State Press, and then I had another beer, and then right before I went on stage, we decided, let's celebrate with a shot and some espresso, and I got on stage, and I'm not really sure what I said. There are people here who were there. I think so. I don't know if there was. It was a horrible, horrible experience. If you've ever seen anyone like your drunk, angry uncle on stage ripping you apart, that's what I was. I yelled at people. I screamed at them. I did anything you could possibly think of that I don't remember because I completely blacked out. Afterwards, on the way out, I begged my girlfriend to go get us Papa Murphy's Pizza down in Ahwatukee. So we hopped in the car, and as she was driving me, I was not driving, she was driving down the freeway. I'm on Twitter arguing with anyone I can find, just anyone I can find, just vicious things. And then I decided it'd be a really good idea to record a little two-minute audio thing and put that online. To this day, that 2-minute audio segment is all that exists of that night. I destroyed the video. I erased all the tweets. And that still haunts me to this day. 8 hours later, I woke up at 6 a.m., decided, you know what, I'm going to walk this off. I'm going to pretend last night didn't happen and just, it's cool. I'll keep on going. I walked to Conspire Coffee, where I proceeded to spill an entire latte on myself. And Katie's dog ran 4 blocks away from me because she was either she was scared of me or she was mad at me or whatnot. So here I was, completely embarrassed, completely alone. I had alienated everyone, all my neighbors, all my friends, anyone who ever talked to me, and I was screwed. Thankfully, I remember the last second that Yuri Artebis, who has spoken at TEDx before, had talked about having a Senfo camp. And this was great. A Senfo camp was a Central Phoenix camp designed to bring together small businesses and residents to get them talking about the things that matter to them. Anything you can think of, technology, community building, anything that you can think of. And it went awesome. So I had more. I had a Scottsdale camp, I had a Chandler camp, and nobody showed up to those at all. I kept on trying to get involved with things. I worked in a couple pod camps. I helped Bob with TEDx Scottsdale. I've done a couple other things. And it went really well, but I couldn't figure out, I wasn't getting anything back from helping people. When my now fiance, Katie, volunteers, she comes home feeling good. I came home feeling drained and angry that people weren't doing enough. So I figured, maybe I have a problem with anger, right? If you can't change everybody else, if you can't change the world, you need to change yourself, right? So I saw this movie by Austin Vickers called People versus the State of Illusion, which is based on, where it's very, very similar to What the Bleep Do We Know? It's about how people can actually change. I went to a counselor. We figured out that a lot of my anger stemmed from something that happened in college about a decade ago, and so we worked through it. We did a little eye thing, checked things out. Anger, in a couple weeks, anger was gone. I felt great. I went home, and for the next 2 months, did nothing. I failed to find another fuel for whatever I had going. I finally changed myself. I had finally become better. I had finally done all these things, and I realized that none of these things would have been possible had I not failed in the first place. But I needed to find some more successes. And so what's next? I don't know. I stand here right now. I lost 20 pounds in the past 2 months thanks to reading a book called Chubster by Martin Sismar. I'm getting married in 9 days. I have cool shoes from a Portland-based company called Score Running that they gave me to review, which is code word for free to wear. And I feel fantastic. So maybe anger wasn't it. Maybe helping people wasn't it. Maybe failure itself is my muse. And so whenever I think about wanting to accomplish something, whenever I think about wanting to be successful, when I think about other people wanting to be successful, maybe it's not about how talented you are, or how right you are, or how hard you work, or how lucky you are. Maybe you just don't fail enough. And so if you want to be successful and you want to achieve more, maybe you should start failing. Thank you.